And
Yeah, I
then,
was I was trying to stream myself like I don't know a couple months ago, and I don't know my graphics card wasn't supported by OBS, but I really wanted to use OBS because they had some feature that XSplit didn't have.
oh yeah, I like this way better than XSplit.
Hmm.
Hopefully that's alright. I'm supposed to move the logo, but okay, that'll be fine.
Hmm.
Um, and do you want to do your game first or my game?
Um, I think yours. Maybe we can go like yours, mine, and then the expert one, the Viper.
Okay, and mine is this one then. So I think this is probably just a normal game.
Hmm.
I'll fast forward. I do 22 pop scouts, and then
Hmm.
he drushes. Oh no, I have an idle bill right there on the sheep.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that when I saw the replay.
Yeah, I'll be interested to know what population he goes up when he drushes. If he does like a 26 or like a 32 pop drush.
Good question. I'll just put on his view because I already know what I do. Um,
Hmm.
I never caught what
Oh
he did.
man, look at that map. He has an excellent map.
Yeah, the bat gold and deer.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Raul was saying something interesting. He's like, yeah, all the 1750s they do like really good, solid opening strats, but then like their execution isn't as good as like someone as good as Ra, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I think that makes sense. And I'm not sure, if it's just like the small things that add up, or if it's something that like 1750s are missing in the big picture. But later, like by mid feudal, early castle, that's when the gap starts to open up between like people like Ra, like really good players, and then 1750s.
Yeah, definitely. And then like that motivated me, I guess, to just like go back to doing the same thing, and then
Hmm.
hopefully it's getting better or something.
I think I was watching the recording of our last session, and I didn't mention it, but I really like the way that you micro your villagers in dark. I know it's kind of like elementary,
Oh, thanks.
but that's something that I hadn't even really focused too much on. But whenever you watch like a Viper game, he always has like his lumberjacks working like completely optimally, and same thing for berries. There's like no bunching, so that's something I can tell you do well.
Yeah, I got it from actually Slam showed me a Dark Age thing, and then like it made my Dark Age so much better. And
Nice.
then the wood, like actually in Chris's book, he talks about like optimal like wood placement and stuff, and like it's not really that big of a deal, I guess. But yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
like it.
Yeah, I think it does add up. Sometimes when I'm watching a recorded game, especially one of myself, I'll like, go to achievements at like right around the time both of us feudal, assuming that we both did like the same 21, 22 pop scouts. And I'll
Hmm.
compare who has like what economy, who has like more resources collected. Uh, and like, of course, it doesn't count what the villagers are carrying in their hands, so there's like some variation. But most of the time, in the games I play versus like my close friends, they like always have a better dark than me. So, it's something I know I can work on.
Oh yeah, that's something I even do like just single player. You can actually like if you open up from the 1.4 patch for the standalone install and go to like multiplayer create game, it'll like simulate the online lag. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'll just work on my 1v1. I'm like my Dark Age during that and like just seeing how fast I can like max out with 4 range, Cav Archer or whatever.
Hmm.
It's for
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. That's a pretty good way to do it.
And so I guess for this, he went 30 pop Drush.
Hmm.
And this is what sucks when they wall off like this and they're really safe because they have a good base.
Hmm.
So I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Um,
Trying to do some damage, but probably
it's kind
not
of hard
having
for
any.
me to see everything on the screen. Like, there's a little bit of like, I guess it's getting pixelated a little bit, but uh, it seems like he's going 30p and he's not going directly to fast castle. So it's kind of interesting to me that I chose 30. I think it's kind of like an in between of the two extremes. If I was going to plan on staying in feudal age for a while and do the drush flush, add archers. I said this last time. I like the 28 pop. You get there a little bit sooner. You can start massing your archers a little bit sooner. 30 and up, I think you're kind of preparing for a faster castle after being in feudal for a while, and then of course 32 and up, you can almost go directly to fast castle after you get feudal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I guess in his defense, I always used to have a problem, like when I first started doing this, just trying to drush flush, and then Spring said, "Oh, it's all right to do with 30 if you're having that much of a problem with it." So
Mm,
like I started doing it that way, but yeah, like 29 is like as late as I feel comfortable doing with Huns, especially. Like if you're Britons or someone else random, then
mm.
sometimes 30 pops a little, definitely even easier.
Yeah. So it looks like he got up to castle pretty quick. Actually, it's not a bad time. So I think
Yeah.
it paid off pretty well for him. I don't mind it, especially because he walled so efficiently, I guess.
Yeah, and he was totally safe from scouts, which I guess is like the biggest concern.
Yeah, that's true. I
Gotta be.
saw a couple dead scouts by his goal. Did you manage to pick off any vills there?
Definitely not. No, not even close. Yeah, my scout
Uh,
micro is not really the best either. I'm just kind of chilling
yeah.
out here, and then this is something I've been thinking about too. Is like, and it probably doesn't even matter, but like if they're doing this, like what would be the most optimal thing for me to do if I knew they were doing this? And
Um,
like I don't even know a lot of the time, and I'm not sure if that's the right way to think about it, because a lot of times like a lot of things can work, and just doing it well, I guess.
mhm.
So
But I think optimally speaking, if you were like, you scouted him and you figured that he was going to go castle pretty quickly, uh, stone walls. That's like,
oh, I hate it. Everyone
yeah, I
says.
know it's kind of
Oh
cheap, but
God.
like the benefit is that he's not going to really send a whole lot of units forward in feudal, so you
Yeah.
kind of have all the time in the world to stone wall, and that's what I've had success with, like in my games, where I know the person's. If I know early enough that the person's gonna drush fast castle, then usually around my mid castle and hopefully I'm sorry, mid feudal, and hopefully not too much later, I'll try to just take like 4 or 5 villagers and just get as many stone walls up in important places as I can, and it's like kind of like a showstopper for the person who will go in cab archers.
Okay.
It kind of forces them to maybe even drop a second town center or forward siege, but the benefit is that they can't just walk in and romp with mass CA.
That makes sense because when they're rushing up there, they're really trying to use their tech with the cab archer usually, and if they
Mm,
can't use it, then it's like kind of a waste.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then by the time you get to feudal, you'll have a stronger army, and as long as he's not in there, I'm sorry, you'll have a stronger economy.
Castle. Oh yeah,
Yeah, to
and
castle,
then more
and
units. Yeah, 'cause
right,
that's what
yes,
they do to me, and it sucks.
yeah, exactly. So it's too bad I saw he got in that one tile that I guess one of your woodcutters chopped.
Yeah.
But it looks like you dealt with it. His expos are dead. And how many villagers did you lose? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I'm at 37 and he's at 32 total, so he's
Oh,
still
okay,
trying to get
nice,
his
nice.
eco up.
Yeah, I think that's kind of goes to show. You said you're an economy-based player, and I think it shows right there.
Yeah, and you know what sucks? Really sucks this game is that like I'll fast forward it because it's kind of just it goes late game and then I think I'm like 30 bills ahead at one point, but I feel like I'm just
Oh,
like getting pushed back, and I'm like, oh my god, this is just so annoying. Like, I always have
yeah.
20. So it's one of those games. This was like from a while ago, from like maybe like November 14th or something, but
Okay. Um.
I don't think much would change if I played it again today.
hmm I know in a situation where you have like less military, if he's like pushing you, but you have like so many more villagers, the best thing to do if you can't wall is to like drop like a smart castle somewhere like that's kind of just gonna cut off a whole area for him to raid, and
Okay,
then kind of huddle behind that and mass your army and try not to take too many losses with your army until it gets big enough.
that makes sense. That's kind of like whenever I have the eco advantage, the more I can just wall or just be defensive, just find a
Mm.
way to not die.
Yeah.
Always seems to be the answer, but it's so boring. Like a lot of time, like every time I stream, I just kind of want to not wall at all and just.
hmm Yeah.
But yeah, let's go back to
Mhm.
walling.
Yeah, I know it is kind of tough when you're learning, but there are situations that inevitably come up where you are going to have more economy and maybe less army, and the enemy is gonna do everything he can with his army to pick off vills here and there, and you just gotta do what you have to do, what's necessary to protect that economy.
Definitely, that makes sense. And then, so it's interesting right here. We're about even in bills. It's like 45 to 46. And
Mm.
then I'm thinking, I feel like I can't really do that much damage to him, but I don't know if I just need to like pick 7 cav archers and just go check up on his win line or something.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. What's the military count between you guys?
He's at 39, I'm at 40, but it looks like he has more cav archers, and I feel like I'm stretched thin. This happens a lot too,
Mm.
where they have a
Okay.
base like this, and I'm kind of having to defend like all
Hmm.
across here. Yeah, I have cav archers over here.
Yeah, if you can spare 7, that would be great because it seems like he has all of his CA rating in one group. I could be mistaken, but that's what it seems like.
No, yeah, all one group. Looks like there's stuff over here. It's the rally.
Hmm. So if you could afford to, sneak 7 cav archers away, he doesn't have any loose CA available to pick if they're all forward, so you can do a good amount of damage.
Yeah, and I was just looking too when you're saying that, like I should just at least send the expos to go check up on something.
Yeah, that could work fine.
I look out here, like whenever I don't wall this, they just keep running around with their cav archers. But then when you do wall, then he loses them all. So it's just like such a big difference between winning that and like
Hmm.
keep getting harassed to death.
Yeah, definitely. That was a nice pin you had on right there.
Walls are awesome.
Yep. At the right time, in the right spot, absolutely.
And yeah, it should have been on stone earlier, but that's still something I never really feel comfortable doing yet.
Yeah, it's tough to know when to go on stone, and you don't want to go on stone if you have less economy. Uh, but when you have more economy, like we said, if you get into a position where you have more to defend, and then it might be all right to spare a few vills to go on stone and maybe get a castle up or something.
Yeah, I guess that just comes with experience and such too.
Yeah, and we talk like it's easy to gauge who has more vills in the game. It's not really that easy. I think it's like a 1800 and plus skill that to accurately gauge who has more villagers and keep track of how many town centers the opposite player has compared to yours.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess I'll worry about that later. That's probably something that's kind of minor considering everything else that I'm probably not doing.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of like a more advanced tactic. But with that said, it can you gauge the situation properly, you can end up winning you the game.
Yeah, definitely. Castles are sweet. Castles on hills.
Yeah, they're huge. In Castle Age, they're so huge because it's rare to have a situation where in a Hun Wars you really go full castle. People usually just tend to opt to go Imperial and Trebit.
Yeah.
Although it is really fun to watch full castles. They're like the modern day full feudals from the past.
Yeah. Yeah, like I still hate clicking Imperial. I don't know if I've harped on it before, but it's just like so many resources to click Imperial
Mm,
and it takes forever.
yep, yeah, definitely. You gotta make sure. And then something that I do all the time is I'll like yes, I clicked Imperial, I'm good now, and then I like completely disregard continuing to make farms, and I end up with like way too much food, too much wood, and then I go to click HCA, the upgrade heavy calves, and I like don't have the food, and I have like all this wood, so it's like just clicking it, you really gotta think about what you're gonna do when you get to the next stage anyway.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tricky with the cav archers and hussars and the balance of everything, at least for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, you really need a lot of farms if you're gonna go big on hussars, and then a good amount of vills too, because you got a lot of blacksmith ups to get after you get the heavy cav archer upgrades.
Yeah, that's what I hate is getting all the upgrades. It's just so expensive. So yeah, most expensive upgrades the longest time, the most expensive just to upgrade to the age.
Hmm. Yeah. Another thing to mention is like hand cart and when to get it. Maybe you would agree with me on this, being that we're both like economy based players. I usually find myself getting it sooner than people like I watch them record games. Then they get it. I think it's like a huge boost to your economy, but it's pretty costly itself too.
Yeah, I think it's just because we're so food starved, not wood starved. We're that too, but so,
Hmm.
and then a lot of times I think people just forget about it. Like I forget about it. There's so much other stuff going on.
Yeah,
So I'm trying
yeah,
to
that's true.
get. I have a hard enough time getting thumb ring, and then to get hand cart.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what kind of situation you find yourself in and what kind of player you are. Because when you think about it, handcart should have bigger effects on the game than thumb ring, and they're about the same amount of resources. But if you have all types of military, it might be wiser to really get the edge with thumb ring. So it really kind of depends.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say like it's almost. Yeah, I guess it depends. Like you said, I I'd say as a rule of thumb, like I always get thumb ring first, ballistics thumb ring, and then probably hand cart.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm the opposite way, but there's no right or wrong answer. It's just more about how the game is playing out.
Yeah, and I don't even know enough about the cav archers. I know there's this French guy on some forum. He figured it out and he said it was optimal to get it once you have 14 cav archers. And so
Oh,
usually I have way more than that. And I'm like, and I've had other people who have thumb ring. I've noticed, and then I don't have it, and it just like really sucks.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're more accurate and they shoot faster. So,
Yeah, and plus if you're good at microing, like I think they can get even. It pays for itself even more.
yeah, absolutely. This is an interesting battle right here because he has upgraded heavy calves, but it seems like you have maybe more cav archers, but you have rams while he has hussars.
And on the bottom of a hill. I kind of feel like I have to attack because he's Imperial, but now that I see it, I'm going Imperial too. I should just wait. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So,
Oh yeah, I can't see that you're going imperial. There's an overlay in the way, but
oops. I'm about 80% there.
okay. Yeah, it's tough. I think it's probably worth it to run away. Cut your losses. The castle's going up, I think.
Yeah, that's actually where I lost. I thought I had to do damage, but I can just wait. It's just bad instincts probably from StarCraft or some other game, or I don't know.
But I find myself choosing bad battles when I get impatient, and I think I see why. One of the reasons why you chose that battle because you had a big fat CA army and you saw his castle going up.
Yeah.
It's so tempting, to just try to assassinate those vills and take the hill too, and then all those resources sunk into it will be like idle and the castle won't go up. But didn't work out in the end.
Yeah, I just wanted to trade down, but I shouldn't really do it while I'm Imperialing. It's like doesn't make any sense. I
Right?
should
Yeah.
just delay it. And I can see why, because like in StarCraft, the game's so fast where if you don't hit them like right there, you don't have the luxury of waiting. They're just gonna come kill you with
Oh
like their
wow.
tech. Where with this, like you can delay and like they can't just come and like run through your base because it takes a while for buildings to die and whatever
This
to
sounds
make
kind of
units.
like Aztec Eagle Wars.
Oh
When like
yeah,
right before they go to like elite, you need to kill them like when they're vulnerable.
yeah, it's like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they can
exactly.
just run through and just romp on everything.
Yeah, so it's interesting. And it's funny I didn't even watch this. I've seen this replay at least once, maybe like 2 or 3 times, and I didn't really notice it till this time.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like 40 bills ahead at one point, or like 39 or something, like a minute
Oh
ago,
wow.
and then now I'm like, I'm
Hmm.
just gonna lose.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when you lose that military advantage, and then the other person is able to mass cav archers. That's hard to come back from,
Yeah.
especially heavy cav archers. Fully ups in imperial.
Yeah, and I can't quite put my finger on what exactly I do, like this game over and over, maybe having too many skirms, or just throwing away army or something. But like I had a game like this happen the other night too, and where I had a ton of skirms and I had a lot of army, and I felt like I was winning. And then all of a sudden I just lost all my skirms and stuff, and I wasn't able to macro back fast enough, and I just lost the game. Kind of
Hmm.
about as close to this game as you can get, I think.
Yeah. How many do you think you have enough ranges now? I can't really see. It seems like you have a good amount of them.
3, 4, 5, 6,
Okay,
7.
6, 7. That's all right, but I think maybe by the time you get to Imperial, if you really want to mass those skirms, can't hurt to spend 500 more wood on ranges.
Yeah, definitely. And I think this game I just got cut off guard, I think, so it's kind of sucked. The other game I was trying to go heavier on Hussar, so I just kept streaming in Hussar. But then I think his Cav Archer just tore him to pieces, and I think I had too many skirms, so like it just sucks to get caught without an army for however many minutes, like just even like 2 minutes, I think. So I think it might have been closer than I thought it was. Just probably a reason everybody kind of goes Cav Archer, Hussar, Ram.
Right, yeah.
And the other game I played the other day too, like I had the gold to spend on it, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna throw away Trash Army first and then like reload, and it just I had enough buildings. It's a little too hard to do, I think, for this level.
Yeah.
Just 'cause you have to position the army, and yeah, it kind of sucked.
Yeah, and it's kind of, as a new dynamic when you have melee units like, Hussars attacking ranged units, and then you also have like some skirmers behind it. That's like a combination that works great, of course, as opposed to just having like heavy cav archers and that's it. But it comes down to a numbers on how many melee units you can keep attacking while those skirms that you have in the back do damage.
Yeah, to the Cav Archers and stuff. And then one thing I've noticed from Viper against Stark, one of his games, is like he kind of attacks, so he makes the Cav Archers engage the skirms, or else all their stuff's just gonna die. And I'm like, I kind of have to do that. I can't just like position them around, or they're just never gonna engage the skirms.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, true.
just kill them with Hussar, and then I'll be sad.
Yeah, and mass skirms in Imperial, at least midway through and beyond, they can be pretty powerful. Assuming that you don't get overrun by Hussars, they can assassinate vills pretty well once you get them into the right position.
True. They're probably good. It's probably just my unit control is like really bad. Like just because I neglect it, so it
And
just doesn't help.
yeah, and by that time in the game, like 40 minutes plus and beyond, there's a lot going on. You're usually not fighting in only one position. There's like side raids going on, and you have your own economy, of course, to continue. Making sure it's optimal and everything. So it gets more difficult when there's more things to handle.
Definitely. And I wish for some reason with TeamViewer up, it doesn't have like that super fast speed. Like this is on 100 speed, but it's usually like 75 speed before. But I guess it's a pretty good pace anyways. But it's pretty much kind of getting close to over. I'm still ahead. What is that? 10 plus 18 is 28 vills. But yeah, all his armies, he has twice the army count.
Oh wow. So I'm guessing that he maybe didn't make enough town centers because he seems to have had like a pretty safe base the whole time. I'm not sure if you got in there to raid and I didn't see it, but
No, I didn't kill any vills. None
yeah,
at all.
so it's kind of surprising to me that you have more villagers when he's had like an untouched economy. So my best guess is that he just needed to add a couple more town centers.
Yeah, I think one thing I've noticed at this level is people, they don't like, I have my TCs on like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And
Oh, okay.
then I think they have to hit H to go to theirs, and really like to make a vill, it happens so like it's every like 16 seconds real time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so like you have to constantly be cycling through it, and I just don't think that it's very efficient to do it if it's on H. And
Oh, so you
I
use
think they just
the
miss rounds. Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah,
like if stuff's
definitely.
going on, and like even when I'm microing the army, I'm hitting like 4, 5, 6 C or 4C, 5C.
Oh. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to do it. But you're right. To cycle through like when you have like 5 town centers and keep them all flowing, it's tough, especially when you're microing. Something that I do is I use HC, but then tab is my go to last screen hotkey. So it's like HC
Oh,
tab, HC
nice.
tab, uh, and then
Yeah,
it doesn't like deselect the town center, so you can cycle through them with HC tab as long as you don't like click one of your units to continue microing.
nice. And I think I think it's not the method, because I think Slam might do the same thing, just hit HC. It's
Mm.
just that I think it's harder for them to realize like how fast like it happens, and every 16 seconds is like insanely fast, just constantly cycling through it.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. And yeah, there's so much going on too. But that's a good way to do it. I don't like keeping my hands too far on the right side of the keyboard. My hand doesn't really tend to move much, so it would take some getting used to for me. That's all.
Yeah, it's better, and like for me, it's easier because like for Zerg with StarCraft, like all my queens were on 5, and you're constantly having to inject, so you're just going like 5v,
Hmm.
like 6v, like pretty much
Oh,
the
okay.
same, like every 25 seconds, I think it was in there.
Oh,
But
wow.
that was like real time seconds, and then yeah, so I'm just like so used to that.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, that game. What do you think about Castle Age? Because I feel like I just like more harassment or something. Like I'm not sure what I
Um,
should be doing or just defend. I'm not like my game plan is or whatever.
from what I could tell, it seemed like you were mostly on your heels with more economy and less military, or around maybe around the same amount of military. But being that he got to castle before you, he was probably like had a better rhythm to his economy. Probably had like farmers down sooner, or um, had his economy geared to what he wanted to do sooner than what you did. So that probably kept you in your base with your army, based on he had more military going to those four waypoints. I think you said the
Yeah.
rally point. Um, but I think you had it right when you said that maybe you should think about just like sneaking seven cav archers or something, and if nothing else but to distract, I think they could at least put some pressure on him and make him kind of stop what he's doing and think twice about something that's unexpected. So that would probably be a plus.
Okay, that makes sense. Hard to do, but I'll jump to your replay now. Let's see. And that was something like I just watched the Stark vs Viper replay last night, and it was a good long macro game that was really good. And just seeing how like much they were attacking each other here and there in Castle is like insane. Oh, still there. Oh shoot, you know what? Well, I wait to see if oh, call on hold. Looks like you got a call. I'm gonna restart the next video too, so I'll just recap that one really quick. The last one, so I'm gonna start a new video file for the other one. Mangas is someone I played a lot, and then he's like 1800 right now, so he's definitely legit player. We kind of did the same thing, even though different opening. But that's how I feel like a lot of my games go, where I kind of get lost in castle. I don't have a clear game plan. I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna kind of do cav archer or ballistics, and if hopefully I'm safe, and if I'm not safe, I don't know what. I guess it's just gonna suck. um, and just kind of try to go imperial, but nothing's really streamlined. I don't really have clear goals. Like in feudal, I think it's a little easier. Clear goals or stuff you're trying to do. Dark Age is even easier than feudal. And then I really hate imperial because like I feel like everything has to be lined up to use your tech advantage. I'm just kind of it's kind of iffy for me there. I guess I could just try to take control of a hill or something and harass with Hussar if I can. I hope I didn't put him on hold. Let me just message him. So try to take control of a hill or something, and then something I've gotten from Sebdos reps is he kind of just hits Imperial text to everything and takes everything really nice and slow and have map control if he has it, and just attack straight up the middle or straight in one place. So I guess I don't have to be all over the place, but I kind of like the just harass everything with Hussar that you can, attack up the middle, and a lot of times with Cav Archer, like you can't do damage up the middle. They're just gonna get slaughtered. So I think what I've seen Viper and better players do. Again, I'm gonna be biased because I've just watched Viper reps, but he
Okay.
just harasses
Um,
their builds. Oh,
I'm back.
sorry. Hey.
Did you hear me when I said be right back?
Oh no, I must. Maybe
Oh
I
crap.
did, and I just zoned out or something. But
Sorry, I was gone for the last like 5 minutes.
oh, it's all right. No, I figured it was because like I think I heard the phone vibrate or something, so
Oh,
I
okay,
figured it was a
cool.
call.
Yeah, yeah, I did. Um, so I gotta say, it might be easier if we
Just do it on
did it
Voobly.
like, yeah, if you did it like we did the first time, because I couldn't really get a whole lot from your screen.
Sorry, no problem. Yeah, let's do it that way. Should be alright. And then I'll stop this recording and start a new one.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Team Viewer off. Off.
Alright. Yeah, it's off the record. Now I can just say whatever the fuck I want to, and it's not gonna be arc forever immortalized. No, no, it was. Okay, now I'm stopping it. You guys didn't hear that.